Hello! So this video is the first in a mini-series that I am calling Soft Reset, Healing from Burnout and cPTSD. After filming my last video, I decided that I wanted to vlog my experience living with burnout and cPTSD, so I decided to create a mini-series. So over the next few videos, I'm going to take you along the journey of trying to reclaim my health mentally, physically, and creatively. I'll be sharing how burnout has affected me, as well as the small steps that I'm taking in order to rebuild and restart my life. I don't know how this series is going to play out. This is just going to be an honest look into what I'm going through. And from this, I hope that I'm able to be a voice for someone who's going through the exact same thing that I am. Or if maybe you're scrolling through YouTube trying to find answers to what's going on, you can see what I'm doing and then figure out things on your own. The reason why I'm calling this Soft Reset is because I'm not trying to up and change my life completely like that. I know it takes a lot of hard work to change your mindset, to start some goals, to really try to work towards feeling better. There is no cure-all, there is no easy fix, but there are definite ways that can make your life more manageable and tolerable. And I really want to share what I'm doing because it's making a major impact for me. So let's start with something simple but meaningful, and that is my hair. So to recap for this mini series, my burnout hit me not like a ton of bricks. It hit me like a pillow in a nasty pillow fight. I noticed when things were off, and I noticed when I finally hit my limit. And luckily, I didn't get to the point where I wasn't able to get out of bed or get myself ready, but I definitely noticed when I wasn't acting like me anymore. I was overwhelmed, exhausted, very irritable, especially with people. Sounds would just aggravate me if I was in a loud environment. I couldn't hear a conversation in front of me. It was just like being in a big room of people screaming at me. My creativity was stifled and I was losing pieces of myself, figuratively and literally. There were chunks of hair that were coming out every time I would shower. I mean, throughout the day, really, I'd noticed a significant increase in hair loss, and that really scared me. Do you see this guy behind me? Like how dangerously close to the vehicle that he is? Dude, I knew what needed to be done, and that was to cut out some of the stress factors in my life, which brings me to my hair. Dramatic transformation. Yes, I'm still getting used to it. However, because I'm noticing it, I'm noticing me. And I'm listening to my body in ways I've never done before. And it's also opening up a whole new avenue of creativity that was once gone. So I'm super stoked right now. I've been dressing differently lately. I've been playing more. I've been expressing myself through color and textures again. This new hair has weirdly unlocked a level of me that I'm really enjoying. It's like I'm trying on different versions of myself to see what fits. It's really fun. So moving on to the next thing that I have been doing to help myself heal through burnout, and this is a big one that I didn't mention in the last video. I started microdosing. I didn't mention it in my last vlog because truly I didn't know what to say, but because I'm seeing these significant changes about myself, I feel like it would be dishonest to omit this kind of information. However, I want to say that I am not promoting anything. I'm just sharing the context. How I got started with this whole thing, I have someone in my life who grows their own stuff, lion's mane, and the rest. I don't know all the stuff. And they suggested that I should start microdosing because I had been expressing very dark thoughts to them. And I was never really into it. I was like, no, I mean, I'm all right. I just got to figure it out and, decompress and stuff. But then I had a meltdown in front of said friend. And they were like, Lana, please, let me just send you some stuff because I don't like seeing you this way. You don't deserve to feel this way. And if this helps, at least you have something to turn to, So I said, fine, I will take it. So my friend sent me a 30-day supply and I have been on it ever since. I'm only doing it because I'm getting it from someone that I love and that I trust, so I know it's super clean. So I take a lion's mane tincture and turkey tail tincture in my coffee every morning, and then I microdose every other day. I'm not gonna get into the dosage because again, I'm not trying to promote anything, this is just to share context. Now the science is still out there, but from what I know about microdosing is that it may help neuroplasticity, mood regulation, as well as breaking habitual thought patterns. At that moment, I was willing to try anything, especially for science. And speaking of science, here is mine. I wish that I had the wherewithal to track all of this stuff even before I did microdosing, but The way I see it is I wasn't in the mental space to track shit. So I guess that says something, you know? And the beginning of May was when I was at my lowest low, but I really desperately wanted to change. So I did everything I possibly could. I started taking vitamins and all that stuff. And it wasn't until May 10th that I started microdosing. It is now June, and I do feel like I'm a completely different person. For one thing, my sleep went from being completely erratic to being a little bit less erratic, which I will take. The biggest thing for me was seeing my energy skyrocket. For me, I'm gonna say skyrocket because when I tell you I just felt horrid, I don't feel that way anymore. So the lowest it ever got to was a 3 out of 10. My energy was just also not that great. And after I started microdosing, it shot up and it stabilized at around 8. Here we are in June where I'm tracking a little bit more because now I'm really into this. So I have all the times that I've microdosed, and then now my sleep patterns have become much more stable. They're not as erratic. My energy level it dipped a little bit. I remember what I did, terrible foods. We'll talk about that later in another episode. But again, my energy level stabilizes like around 7 or 8. I'm not trying to be a 10 out of 10 every day. That's exhausting. Just because you have the capacity doesn't mean you have to be at capacity. Do you know what I'm saying? I feel like I have to stress this because this is the first episode. I'm not trying to sell you a fix. I'm just saying that this is a part of my life that is making a huge difference on how I move throughout the day. One huge thing that I noticed is that my rage has subsided significantly. There's no tracker for that, but I used to get really road ragey, and I don't do that anymore. Now, do I still have that element within me? Absolutely. I'm not numb to feeling emotions, but I don't get this weird, evil dopamine kick, rush, if you will, out of arguing or getting enraged over something insignificant. It has to be the microdosing because there's no way I would just flip a switch like this. One thing is for sure is that it's helped me pay attention to my body more, which I hadn't before. So again, about the being at capacity, I would just go and be completely irritated, moody, and stressed out, overwhelmed, and then exhausted because I'm doing so many things at once, and I would never stop. I would never take a break. I'd feel the body pain and just continue going. And if the body pain got super bad, I would then take an ibuprofen and then keep going. Now I can feel when an anxiety attack is coming on. I can feel when my knees are just saying, please stop. I can feel when my body is sad. It is the weirdest thing. I start asking myself, like, what do you need? What do you need? And half the time it's water. And I will give my body what it's asking for. I need to sit down. I need a nap. I've been napping more. This is going to be a very good series. There's one thing that I did not expect, and this will be my testimony, and I'm going to say this on episode 1. It is my goal by the end of this mini series to have overcome arachnophobia. My arachnophobia goes deep. I think that's a huge trigger for me. It has to have stemmed from some kind of trauma. Who the hell knows? But every time I enter a room, I always do the 4-point check. 1, 2, 3, 4 corners of the room to make sure there's nothing on the walls, on the ceiling. Before this moment, I really couldn't be in a room with anything larger than the size of a pea. But now I can take care of things that are about the size of a nickel. And I am giving the full credit to microdosing because there's something that I'm doing different in therapy to help me minimize the effects of arachnophobia. So the only thing that I can think of that is making a huge impact is the microdosing. My goal at the end of this series is to catch and release. I can't even talk about it because I'm like thinking about it and I want to like just scratch my chest right now because I'm thinking about having to get close to a spider to capture it and release it. That is my goal. I'm not saying I got it all figured out, but as of right now, the fact that I'm still going and I'm feeling like I can say the words, I'm okay, that's gotta account for something. But this like soft reset is helping me get back in track in life. It's helping me jump into things again slowly, 1 foot at a time and gently. And I'm now tackling some of the projects that I have left behind. For those of you who've been following me on my channel, I opened up a sticker store and I shut it down a couple years ago. And I've been wanting to create another one. And I just lost interest because I was completely out of it. And now I can say that I am full force working on my store again, and I couldn't be happier. I'll be sharing updates on my healing journey, whether that's doctor's visits, habit tracking, showing what I'm doing in my journal, or just giving you an honest chat as to what I'm going through in life. I'm also going to be taking you with me, vlogging my weeks or whatever to show you what I've been up to so that you can see where I'm at and how I'm going. I don't know where this path leads, but I'm showing up for it, and that to me says a hell of a lot than what it was like a month ago. If you have questions, feel free to ask them in the comments below. And also, if you have your own tips and tricks on how you handle burnout or complex PTSD, leave them in the comments, because I know as someone who was looking for cPTSD content on YouTube, it was very hard to find videos that you can really gather up just firsthand accounts with. So go ahead, start talking about it, because we need all the talkings that we can get. Thank you for being with me. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye.